You know what I mean? This is Rod, Rod Uncensored. You know what I mean? The BB Dub lover. You know what I mean? Double R's, Ronald Rod, RP, Rod Pervert. You already know. If that bitch titties can't fit in a bra from Lane Bryant, I don't want to fuck with her. You already know the vibes. Plan B's going for 25 where I'm from. Man, you know me, it's a special Tuesday edition of Rod Uncensored Podcast. I got brother Lamar on here again, man. It's been a little minute, but you know, we back at it. Man, but we were just talking about podcasting, man, and finding guests and the struggles about it, man. And tell your story you was about to go with, man.
So Miss Yolanda gave me a opportunity to create an episode, and what I wanted to do was get the the black young woman thoughts, give them the platform. I wanted to make a platform for them. So it's supposed to be 3 episodes, and one episode was supposed to be for females between the ages of like 19 to 25. So we want to get their perspective of what they're going through. And whether we wanted to talk about the things we want to talk about was being a single parent, the Jim Crow, not the Jim Crow, but the Roe versus Wade, and a couple of other topics that we had, just to give them a platform. And the other one was supposed to be from 25 to 30. So dealing with it, and then we was going to get the two, just to give them a platform.
No, go ahead.
We wanted to get the 2 best ones out of each category and bring them in together for a third conversation, right? Never got to that because the young girls were just hard to get a hold of. I got to find I talked to at least 8 different, I know my 20-year-old, so
you're the slayer. You know what I mean?
But just they were uncooperative. But then I had a couple older ones, like 26, 27, 28, 29. They came in. It was Baby Gaines, Erie, Aaron Byrne. It was 4 of them. So I got 4 of them, and it went well. But we couldn't get them together because people be faking. Man, people be faking, man. They act like they down for it and whatever. And you know what I'm saying? Like, you can show me better than you can tell me. That's how I look at it. Like, I don't even get mad because I'm to the point where if I get mad, it's gonna be bad because you waste my time. You could have said I can't make it. That's it. Instead of leaving a motherfucker, this is important to me. I came to you because I thought I can rely on you. That's what we do. We gotta come to them and rely on them to come through. And most times, man, you gotta reach a lot of people because plan A the number one person ain't gonna work out most of the time. So you gotta have backup.
Yeah, and that's, you know what I mean, that's definitely real. Cause you gotta have at least about 80 people. You know what I mean? You gotta have a backup on a backup on a backup on a backup on a backup. But let's go on some other topics, man. Have you seen that Nipsey Hussle's killer got sentenced to 60 years?
Yeah.
Did you see that boy's head, man, in that courtroom?
I didn't look at it. I came across it on social media, but I didn't indulge into it. Things like that don't catch my attention unless I'm about to talk about it. Like the young thug, you hit to what's going on with Young Thug and Gunner, right? How I didn't mean to change it up, but it comes in together. You know how they're talking about violating his First Amendment rights because they talking about they're gonna use his lyrics. You agree with that? Is that violating his First Amendment rights?
Man, because it's a lot of people that be capping and rap, so it's dangerous. You know what I mean?
What's that old saying? Loose lips sink ships.
Yeah,
that's what they doing. But you got a lot of ignorant motherfuckers who don't understand what the First Amendment law is. It's freedom of speech. Like, think back before this was put into effect, the First Amendment. you couldn't talk or express yourself to anything. You know, talking to a cop crazy or telling you that's some bullshit, blah blah blah. You have the right to say that now. That the First Amendment, you can stand up and speak your piece, but that's not speaking your piece. I always use an example for a female. Say you in a relationship with you married and you slide off and you write love letters and whatnot, and she gets mad and she gives a love letter to your wife. Can your wife take that to? Can she take that to a divorce court and use it against you? Or is that violating your First Amendment rights?
She can show it, but you don't care about infidelity no more, man.
But I'm just saying, in a court of law, they don't care about none of that.
Nah,
your rights, and really, when you get in the court of law, when you get in the system, your rights are really out the picture for real. They say that you have the rights and all that shit, but it's out the picture. You lose all human rights, civilian rights.
You're not really technically supposed to go through anybody's mail.
True, but what if it's given to you?
Yeah, that's different.
So what's the difference from writing it on a letter and putting it on wax? If he's rapping about how he killed somebody in front of somebody's mama and then turned around and they find out real life, that's not no, the streets already know. Streets know what the deal is before the system know. People in the system, they know. So, I mean, can you not use that? He rapped about it, but yet, he's being implicated in this same scenario. So we can't use this. We got to throw this out of court because it violates his First Amendment rights. No.
Yeah, there's a lot of gray area about shit like that. But you know what I mean? It's a lot of rappers that say really suspect shit. I'm glad Biggie's not alive because all the crazy shit he said back in the day, he might have been locked up. You know what I mean?
And that right there, if they get that off, that's going to change the game. That's going to change the rap. Because now it's going to expose that y'all all cap. Because otherwise, if you really rapping about what you did on the street, someone else, Bobby Smurder, he got linked up. They used this shit against him. Didn't they? About him, you know what I'm saying? That hot track that he had when he came out. Yeah, they pulled that into the play of him and connected the dots.
He did say he got a body about a week ago.
Exactly.
You're lucky he didn't get tax evasion. He said he'd been selling crack since the 5th grade.
Now you gotta stop loose lips, stink shit. And now the rappers got the most loosest lips. They got the most loosest lips. And it'd be some bullshit or it'd be some real shit.
I don't know what the. I'm surprised. I remember when Rick Ross said some real crazy shit. He said, "I put something in her drink. She just didn't know it." I'm surprised that shit didn't. You know what I mean?
No, that he got backlash from that. He lost deals for that. That was just the dumbest thing. If I could ask him what's the dumbest thing you ever did, that has to be number one. Because that was just stupid, man. First of all, it ain't slick. It shows that you got weak game if you got to do that. You ain't got no game. If I can't knock you with my words and my swag and who I am, and I gotta drug you, come on now. Ain't nothing play, man. These rappers say the most dumbest, wackest shit. And they get glorified for this shit. He one of the biggest punk fake cap motherfucking rappers there is. I know Pablo, I know Noriega, the real Noriega. Every time I hear that, I'm like, nigga, you don't know them niggas. They don't owe you shit. Funny ass nigga. Shut the fuck up. Fuck wrong with your dumb ass. Sounds stupid as fuck. And niggas don't be peeping that shit and they give them all the clout.
Yo, that shit was the craziest shit. When I heard that, the real Noriega. Man, come on, man.
Come on, man. I got keys moving from overseas. Cause a nigga threw 100 threes. Like, come on, man. You ain't telling. Why are you telling this shit? You out, my nigga. You got. I'll see through that shit. But like I always, this has been my thing this last couple of weeks. Breaking it all the way down, making it make sense. The 10%ers of the world are the creators and leaders of the shit, right? They create the bullshit and everything else that is out here. Because everything that is in existence has been created by this 10%er. Then you got the 85%ers. They are fucking following the dumb shit. Niggas sagging. One person decide to sag. Not a whole bunch of niggas like start sagging at the same time. One person. And it really ain't got nothing to do with prison. Being gay and all that. Because in prison, they didn't play that shit. You got to pull your pants up. Mm-hmm. They will give you a ticket for that. So miss me with that fuck shit, right? It don't make sense. But It really came from what makes sense is they got it. I heard it came from slavery, and they used to have ropes to tie their pants up. They didn't have belts. So when a motherfucking running slaves was a running slave, when you see somebody sagging and shit, it's like, oh, he a runaway slave. You can't run with your pants. You can't do nothing with your pants hanging over your ass. You really can't. So that makes more sense than it coming from prison. Now, one person created, then all the 85%ers and all the other motherfuckers went in with it and start following.
Man, do you watch some of these let me get this video. I want your idea about this. Let me see. Can I get it? Let me see. Can I pull this shit up? I think this was the wildest shit I ever seen. Let me pause it.
What's it about?
Oh, this motherfucking man doing these massages, man. Did you see that video?
Nah.
These broads,
exotic massages.
Yeah.
Extremely sexual exotic massages. Like he pramping her, getting her ready, tendering the meat. They be tendering the meat. You have a technical difficulty.
Go ahead, just be rapping about something. Let me see. Oh yeah, I can't play the fucking music. Let me get right here. All right, let me present.
See, I can't do this on regular podcasts, but on my nigga podcast, I can do whatever. I can smoke some weed, I can cuss, whatever.
Go ahead, do you?
Right. Oh yeah, I'm familiar with this.
Look at this. Look at this nigga. How's this a massage? You can't tell me his meat ain't hard, dog.
Man, you know what? I'm gonna say this. I used to date a masseuse, and I picked up some things from her, but this is a whole nother level. And the more you do something, the more you get better. So I've had some, some people that I've done some things like that too, just regular massages, full body massages. And it's about mind control, right? Now imagine laying in the bed with a badass girl that you can't touch. Y'all just friends, right? Of course, it's human nature in a man to get turned on by that, right? But everything is mind over matter. And you know what I'm saying? Even though you horny and shit, at the end of the day, that don't matter because you ain't gonna do nothing about it. You better go in the bathroom and squeeze one off and you be cool type shit. But me, I don't get aroused by that. I can do that without getting aroused after a while of doing it. Because what is the point of mentally teasing yourself if you can't really get it? Mm-hmm. But then if you do it so good, come on now, he done fucked a lot of his clients. I don't give a fuck because that turns a woman on way more than it turns a man.
Look at this massage, dog. You can't tell me. You can't tell me. You can't make this shit up. First of all,
I wonder how much you get paid.
Yeah, that's what I want to know.
God, man, because the massages be like a package would be like maybe $150, $200, for a package deal. I seen a girl on Facebook. She said she was charged a certain amount of money for a massage and a facial. I was like, I'll give you a massage and I'll give you a protein facial. Fuck you talking about?
But yeah, man, it's a lot of wild shit, man, that you wouldn't think would be a thing in 2023. It's a guy that really he goes around. He's a professional cuddler.
A professional cuddler.
Cuddler. Yeah, he
Oh
caught him.
yeah, I've seen some commercials. I've seen some TikToks about women. It's gonna take them like she was like, I need 1,500, and you can we can cuddle, and you know what I'm saying. We ain't fucking, but yeah, I'll be in your presence. I'll she walk around and you know what I'm saying, thicker than a snicker, walk around some boy shorts or whatever, and y'all cuddling, but you got to come off that 1,500 first.
But it's some weird, it's some wild shit. I see one guy, he put a trumpet to the girl's vagina and played it, and she was just moaning and shit.
Put the hand on it and blew in it.
Yeah.
Oh shit! Damn, that nigga, man. Man? I can imagine what the vibration of that is gonna do to the. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Go in your room and close the door, girl. I'm talking talk now.
yeah. This man this man just on some
I'm
wild
talking.
shit. You know what I mean? It's crazy. What is a new thing nowadays, man?
Man,
Motherfuckers get paid to do the wildest shit.
man, you got that. What they say? A rich man gotta have multiple streams of income.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, if they paying, you know what I'm saying? You got to if they're paying for a service, willing to pay for a service, you got to provide that. I'll quit my day job if I could just travel and give women massages. I'm dead serious. I look at when R. Kelly said your body is my playground. When he planted that seed, I'm like, you know what? He ain't never lied because I'll be having some fun with him. You know what I'm saying? I'll be having some fun with the rightly shaped woman. Oh my God, I'm having my way.
Mm-hmm.
It's my playground.
What, man? Have you ever experienced this? This is why my question was for the general population. I was on a couple Facebook groups. It's a rub and tug, cheating, man, to you.
A what?
A rub and tug.
A rub and tug?
Yeah, just a little quick shake weight after massage.
Oh, they call that
We call that rub, a rub and tug.
they call it something else. They got another. I know what you're talking about. Because my friend who's a masseuse said she was somebody asked her she do that. They got a name.
Huh? A happy ending.
Yeah, nah.
That ain't really quite a happy ending.
That's like there's a movie, I can't remember what it is, but it got Adam Sandler and he's a barber, a hairstylist. That's what he's a hairstylist. So he got all these every time he get done, he take them in the back and blow their back out. It's a movie with Adam Sandler. I can't remember what it's called. He's like a foreigner who comes over to the United States. Huh?
Is it zoning?
It's been so long, but yeah, he would cut their hair, and then they show him leading the girl, looking all nice, leading her into the back room, and when she come out, her hair all fucked up. And he tell her, "Have a good day." Next.
Dang.
A happy ending. That's what it's called. A happy ending.
A happy ending.
A happy ending. He was like, you do happy endings? She was like, no, I do not.
Yeah, it's a thing, man. But I know, motherfucker. It was a lot of stings in Maryland for them joints because the motherfucker was getting their weight shaken. You know what I mean?
Man, hey, that's what they would do. Look, that's what they do in prison, right?
Uh-huh.
You know, you get you a female, you know what I'm saying, that would go, and you know, if you got to be in a hole, can't nobody around, they ain't gonna do it when, you know what I'm saying, in general population, of course. But if you're in a hole, like secluded, she'll pop that top and she'll get you off and be looking dead at you. Oh my God. I had one, right? Her name was Miss Jackson. I'm in Lucasville. That's the worst prison in Columbus. That's the second worst prison in Columbus. And she would come by and pass the mail and whatnot. And you know when a woman is attracted, like you, digging you, and they'll give you signs. You can pick up, right? So she hit me with it, and I'm like, so I go to my OGs and get the word on her, and because they already know, she's like, yeah, she'll watch you. She give me the instructions, right? So I start setting it up. So every time she go make her rounds, because she in the office, she'll come out, you can hear the doors open and everything. She come out and do her round, and you hear the niggas be, you know what I'm saying? You can tell the niggas on the other side when she out, because they all come on, some of them be at the window and shit. They be jacking off on her from behind and shit, behind the back, right? So I set it up because I was scared. So I take my shirt off out here. I take my shirt off and start working out, doing push-ups and all. Right? getting that blow up because I was much bigger and whatnot. So I knew I caught her eye, and she was an Amazon. She was tall, thick, brown skin, had her hair done. Because you could be an average girl, or you can be Lizzo, and they're gonna treat you like you Beyonce up in prison type shit. Yeah,
I might have changed this shit from CO's rubber tugs.
It goes down. So she walked past with the mail, and she like stopped, and I'm standing right there, like the toilet's right here, and the bars is right there. So I'm standing, man. I got cold feet. She was just looking at me like, nigga, what you gonna do? You gonna shoot her? You gonna dribble? I'm just gonna dribble. She's like, nigga, I'm gone. Couldn't do it. I never did no thing like that, and I thought I was just scared. I was scared. But yeah, they do that. They do that. That's a such thing. That's like what are those things where it's a hole and you stick your dick in and get it jacked up?
A glory hole.
Glory hole. It's no difference except being what the fuck who it is. Motherfuckers is freaks. That's what it is. And there's levels to this shit. You got to get the trumpet out and start blowing on the click. I might try that shit. God damn it.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, bet you that feel good on a girl. That motherfucker, you gotta be open-minded to that shit. Let me blow this trumpet. Like, man, most women, most sisters be like, no, you gotta get that off on a white girl.
Yeah, man, probably so, man, because it's definitely a thing. I didn't think it was be a thing like that, man. Like, motherfuckers really into that shit, man. When I seen that the categories he had in there, I was like, oh shit. Motherfuckers really coming in there to get cuddled by that nigga.
Hell yeah. If you got the body for it, you gotta have the body for all that shit. You gotta be motherfucker can put a team of motherfuckers, like 10 motherfuckers, all different types. And if you want you get the options of what you want, profiles and shit. Yeah, we starting at $800 on up. For let's say a session would be from about 8 hours, not even 8, depending how long you want, up to 8 hours, depending on how much you want to pay.
Mm-hmm.
Make some money off of that. There's always so many ways to make money, so many creative ways and shit. And these young motherfuckers, man, they take shit to a whole nother fucking level, man. They wasn't on no shit, The old motherfuckers, they slow to make, coming up with ideas and shit. These young motherfuckers, man, they coming up with all types of shit. And they got the tools to get it out there. And they got, you can find out little new things and ways to make money through the internet or word of mouth. It's just a creative ass time that we live in.
Yeah, man. If you can't make money in 2023 with all the avenues from DoorDash, professional cuddling.
What's that the famous one? My page. What's that page called? Fans only.
OnlyFans.
OnlyFans. That's the biggest thing. Motherfuckers became millionaires off that shit. I watched something on TikTok about that. Not TikTok, on Hulu about that.
Yeah, a lot of them just making this money off of this OnlyFans. I mean, it's just broads be selling their feet. Not even getting smashed, getting them getting smashed, making money.
Making money. What do you call it? I call it social media prostitute. Because they will use social media to prostitute. That's, anytime you pay for sex, y'all come to an agreement. You ain't got to be on the corner. It's 2023. Only the crackheads and heroin addicts is on the corner for $40. These motherfuckers took it to a whole nother level when they're like, we about to use social media to push this pussy.
And I know a couple fellas that go to a strip club still, and you're like, yo, you can't even go in there for that happy ending for $150 no more.
No, man, this girl,
them bitches heads blown up now.
Man, I went to Atlanta. First time I went to Atlanta, my dude took me to, which I could not wait, a fucking strip club. And as soon as I got in the door, I was already chosen. She had to be like, this is about 5 years ago, so I was like about 42. She had to be about 25, 24. She pulled down on me before I even got to the bar. She pulled down on me. We started talking and shit, and she was like, you want a lap dance? And I was like, how much? And she was like $250. And I'm like, And I've never been in a situation like that. Mine, you already know my backstory, so a lot of shit was new to me. And I'm like, man, I'm cool. I'd rather make it rain with that money. Fuck that. Right. So later on, it was her time to dance, and that 250 went up in the air. Fuck that. Yeah, it was going up in the air. And I asked my dude who took me, he getting a lap dance. I'm like, how much you pay for a lap dance? He was like $10 a song. I was like, oh, she was throwing the pussy to me. And I didn't catch it. And even if I did catch it, I'm like, no, I'm not paying no 250. I did one time, man. I ain't gonna beat you, man. It was this. I came off 250. She wanted 300, but I was like, man, and I had just hit a lick gambling. I was like, man, I want to treat myself because I'm tired of dealing with the certain type of women that I've been dealing with. I need something, yeah. So I met her on Facebook, and her pictures was just like, oh yeah, I gotta have that. Oh, I gotta have that. So it took me months to negotiate to get that 300 down. Like, I'm not paying on 300. So we came to 250 and went through the shit, man. I was so disappointed.
Whoa. Like how bad? Why are you so disappointed, man? Because this is it happens to the best of us, man.
Man, you already know what they be doing on social media with the filters and shit. It was one of those situations. She was on that type of time.
So she catfished you.
Man, she ain't catfish. What got me was her frame, and she had one of those, you know what I'm saying? Like, God damn.
But it didn't look like that without the clothes.
That looked like that, but her titties was all shriveled up, like wrinkled up. Like, you too young to be having titties that look like you 45 type shit. The fuck? If I would have known that, I would not know. If I'm paying 250 for, man, I'm trying to have my way. I'm like, can I do this? She's like, no. Can I do that? She's like, no. I'm like, the fuck? Like, I was expecting to just have, you know what I'm saying? Like,
why you just didn't give half of the money? I would just gave her
half.
Maybe
the money. Like Cash App, man. This is my first time doing it. First and last time doing it. So she wanted, she got to put it up top. But then I used to go on wild goose chase, man. I went on a wild goose chase. My son, I had pot. I don't do drugs, but I just want to see what it do to me. Like, it don't be doing nothing to me, man. Sherms, I did X, but you know what I'm saying? I took all types of pills and shit just to see what it do. And I don't do nothing. Sex pills, I already told you about the sex pills. Them things don't do shit. But I took some shit, man, and I was up. That's all these drugs do, keep me up and they give me a migraine. I was up all night, and my son came over and he put me up on some game with the Backpage shit. Oh, God. Man, he told me this like 2 a.m. I didn't go to sleep that day. I was up just chasing, and motherfuckers is pump faking and playing around. So I finally caught one. She was like, I'm like, man, I'm not cash shopping you shit, man. I learned, right? We're gonna do it this way, and it's the only way we're gonna do it. So she's like, all right, come on downtown and go into the Hyatt and sit there in the lobby, and I'll come down to get you, right? So, man, I got there, right? In the lobby. She's like, all right, I'll cash out me half of it and I'll come down and get you. It's like, nigga, you must think I'm boo-boo the food. I'll wait. I was like, no, won't you come down here and we'll do that shit? Like, if you think about it, them and telemarketers, all these motherfuckers that be on this soliciting type shit, man, they can't just zero in 1, 2, or 3, or 4. They got to go all day chasing motherfuckers to get us to find that scent that's going to go for it. Because what they say, a sucker's born every day. They just trying to find that. They need about 3 suckers that's willing to come off. They can get $75. All right, it's going to be 150 or it's going to be 250. I'm going to need a deposit, blah, blah, blah. Not everybody going, and they know that. Again, they focus on the 3 that they need. So if they get 3 suckers out of a day and get them out of $350 or $150 a piece, come on, you do the math.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lick.
Mm-hmm.
These bitches be making like $500 to $1,000 a week and just pump fake it. Like, I got sent on 2 traps, 2 not traps, but 2 waste of times and shit.
Anybody popped out the bathroom on you?
No, I went in, I experienced something, and if it don't go right, I want to see consistency. If it go wrong twice, it ain't for me.
It'd be niggas in the bathroom waiting for a nigga to come in.
Man, I used to date a girl who used to set niggas up. She was a pretty motherfucker, remember? She was scandalous as fuck. And she'll get him to the hotel. Like, she telling me this shit, And I'm like, damn, I never heard no shit. Cause before I came home, I wasn't a street nigga for real. I didn't know nothing about what's going the game and shit of the streets. But she was telling me shit. And then you ever heard that Lil Wayne, Mona Lisa?
Yeah.
That's the same thing we talking about. Mona Lisa setting niggas up and Lil Wayne coming in to rob. That's that's one of the oldest tricks in the book. Because niggas,
that shit still work though, dog.
yeah, niggas is weak, man. Niggas gonna always get took up top by females. Man, females are the most powerful women on the planet. Man, they have so much power over a motherfucker. It can be snowing, and it could be like 5 inches of snow coming down, and a female asks a nigga to come see me. She live on the other side of town, and that nigga gonna get in his car and go. I did it, doing 15 miles an hour on the freeway, cussing her out. So I'm like, if something happened, I'm cussing myself out like, you stupid nigga. Is it really worth it? Come on now. You can't drive in the snow, and come on now. Matter of fact, it was snow, it was rain, pouring down rain. But yeah, that shit ain't, man. Women got power, man. They're the most powerful creatures on this goddamn planet, and a lot of them know it. And with great power comes great responsibility. And a lot of these bitches, yeah, they bitches because they act like bitches. The shoe fit, fucking wear it. Yeah, these bitches they be misusing their power and taking shit for granted, taking niggas up top.
Yeah, man. Sometimes that shit backfire on it. You know what I mean? Sometimes that shit backfire and they become victimized and get out of here. Nigga turn the water off because they play too many games. Both sex. You know what I mean? Niggas and women, bitches. You know what I mean? Niggas get tired and they end up turning niggas' water off. I'll come meet me here and just turn the water off. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So this shit's dangerous, man.
It's very dangerous, man. When I left that first time when she told me to go to the Hyatt, I gave instructions. I'll call people like, if you don't hear from me, they got me. Because I thought it was the police. My paranoid, like, I'm talking motherfucker. I think about the worst case scenario. Because if I'm prepared for that, anything under it, I'm good. And the worst case scenario in this situation was it was a setup. It was a sting. And I'll be damned if I ever be on. They got a thing. If you get arrested, you get put on the busted page. Y'all got that? Where y'all at?
Oh yeah.
Not this motherfucker. I got put on that motherfucker one time because this motherfucking demon lied to my parole officer and told her that I put a gun to her, and they put me in jail. And here I am on a motherfucking busted page. Stinking bitch.
But yeah, man, that Backpage was a demon, man. There was a lot of niggas I seen from where I'm at and down Tennessee on that busted page, you know what I mean, as a John. But I don't understand why would you bust somebody out like that? You know what I mean? Niggas been buying pussy since the beginning of time, man.
I mean, they had a part where you couldn't buy alcohol. Motherfuckers was sneaking and sipping and getting drunk when Prohibition was in type shit. So, and what happened? That became legal. So, but they'll never legalize selling pussy. I don't know why. Ain't nothing wrong with it. We pay anyway. Man, I went I had this one chick, man, she was just bad. Like had all the she was equipped. She was fully equipped. You know what I'm saying? Fully decked down and everything. Man, my first date was $100. We took her to a seafood restaurant, and it was $180. Man, my limit in dating a girl, especially the first one, you ain't getting $75 over $50 from me. I gotta see. You ain't. That's the limit. That's the budget. $50. We gonna make this work. We gonna have fun. Look, motherfucker, you lucky I ain't taking you to McDonald's because it ain't about where I take you. It's about having the moment with me. If you don't understand that, then we ain't gonna work. Man, then she wanted ice cream. So the bill came up to $190. That's insurance card. That's insurance note right there. That's 4 bills. Electric, gas, and maybe the internet. So yeah, motherfucker, we pay anyway. Whether we come, anytime you meet a female, you're gonna fucking pay. You take her on a date, you paying. You paying for gas. She smoke weed, you paying for the weed. If she drink, you paying for all that shit. They get it smooth. They had something on the Breakfast Club today. Since we're speaking about this, and they have people calling in about how do you feel about asking men for money. And one girl was like, they was all sisters and shit. One was like, I'm starting to ask now because I always was giving and putting in a relationship and this and that. Now I'm to the point where I got a kid, I got 2 kids, and I'm single. Yeah, I'm asking. Man, women always talk about they don't need men, but y'all sure need a motherfucker to pay y'all goddamn bills, to give you rides, give you weed.
I mean, it gets to the point where it's some bitches out here be smoking weed like crack.
And they ain't paying for it a lot most of the time. They're finding niggas. Man, look, these niggas got to start. These females got to start in 5. They got the weed man. He need weed. You got this nigga. You got the one with the good dick. You know what I'm saying? You got that nigga. You got the one that spend money on you, and you know what I'm saying? He take you on trips and shit. You know, you got the one that ain't got none of that shit, but he love the fuck out of you, and you know what I'm saying? He gonna treat you right and treat you like a queen and make you feel. And then you got that one that ain't shit. And that's the one that she like. She the top 5. He number 1. And they rotate you. They have a top 5. Like you got Ohio State, Alabama, Tennessee, Georgia, and maybe Michigan. Yeah, and when one fuck up, they get dropped down, and another one move up. They always got that, man. I'm hip to their script because it's the same script that I would use. It makes sense. You got all these different men that does, and together they form one. They get everything knocked out that you need in a man.
You ain't never lied about that, man. You ain't never lied on that. But man, like, did you ever use like the Tinder back in the day, the Tinder of the world, and POF, the tag
POF,
joint?
plenty of fish. Yeah, I got man. Look, if it came across my plate, I tried it. I take a taste. It's always a waste of time, man. I get the ones that I don't want. I get their attention.
What
like,
you mean the ones you don't want?
Look, I used to be what's that movie called? Shallow How? Yeah, I used to be shallow as fuck. Like back in the day, I wouldn't date nobody that was big, and I wouldn't date nobody who was darker than me. I was on that bullshit type of time until I came home and I got around some, big women that, caught my attention. Like, man, there's some beautiful ass big women. Beautiful ass big women, BBWs, beautiful. And, I started realizing it ain't about the outer appearance, but it's really about but still at the same. But before I came to that point in life, this is when I first came home. Man, I'll get the ones. If I liked it and I shot shots, it wouldn't happen. But the ones that I can get the shit off, man, I'm cool. You're not my cup of tea.
You said I'm cool.
I'm cool. It's not what I'm on here for. I can get that. This is where I'm saying? I'm trying to get a certain type. I just want to have fun. I don't want. Then you got those who want to be. Man, they all act like that's. They all come in there. Women come on there. They either act like they want a relationship or they want a relationship. Like you can't really find relationships through these social media dating. You really can't. If you got 1,000 different date scenarios that was connected to the social media dating sign, man, out of that 1,000, I'm gonna say 100 of them made it. Them odds ain't good odds for me. You ain't gonna sign or put your time into something that you ain't gonna benefit off of, and it's a guarantee. And you gotta put in all this goddamn work, texting and shit. And the way my mind is designed, my texts be this long. And my shit be like 3-4 paragraphs and shit. So ain't nobody, man, that's just a way talking on the phone. And then when you catch up to it, and, man, she talking about you thinking that it's one thing, she wanna try to lock you down and shit. Like, no, I just came here for a good time. That's it. But I have met some cool ass girls on social, through that dating type shit. I met a couple cool ones.
Oh, I got my guest finally arrived. Another guest.
I'm sorry, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. Because I have my whole studio set up, and then I realized I could just wear my headphones and I can continue to cook instead of because I had to come home and my bad.
Man, come on.
We just did it. We just did the damn thing. I told him I was gonna be late because I was cooking.
Yeah, we always ran late from cooking.
Nice.
But what do you have any catfishing stories about Tinder? We was talking about Tinder, and we also talk about low Backpage because it is uncensored thing. But do you have any horror stories about using social media apps?
Well, I will say I did jump on a dating app later on. I was kind of dared to jump on an app because I had, I was married and I got divorced, and my friend was like, "Listen, I started dating. Can you jump on an app?" And he hadn't dated in like 8 years, so I was like, "He just joking." So I was like, "Cool, I'll do that." So then this fool started dating. And so I jumped on, I think it was called Hinge. I jumped on Hinge or
Hinge. I
whatever.
never heard that one.
Yeah, I saw it on
Bro, let me get my pencil.
I saw it on where did I seen it on Hulu? And I was like, let me just try whatever, see how it is or whatever. And it was
That must be a gospel. That must be a Christian website.
Well, they're saying it's something like the dating app for people who don't have time to date or something like that. And it's like meant to be deleted. You probably seen a couple of commercials, like a little furry thing, and then it just get blown up because like it's saying that you basically get on the app and then you find somebody, you delete it. So it's an app that's meant to be deleted or something. But anyway, I jumped on there, met a guy, and he seemed pretty cool. I actually didn't want to date him because I was like, he's a professional person. He did a lot of work with, he just did a lot of work, and I was like, I might be able to use him later. I really didn't want to make it anything, but anyway, we went on a date, and he was sending me photos, but it wasn't really like up to date photos. So when I saw him, he was a little heavier than I expected. Now, the thing is this, I guess they assume that women don't like that. I'm like, I don't mind a dad bod. You know what I mean? I just would have liked for you to tell me or send me like a up to date photo of yourself. So anyway, we went on a date, and we weren't compatible that way, and that was that.
That was bait. He lures you in with some bullshit.
Yeah. We all got little fake pictures. I use some fake pictures on my Tinder when I was out there. Be rumbling with the lions and the lioness. But yeah, it's definitely a lot of catfishing, man. I seen one was so bad. I'm glad I'm not single no more. Like I got to the level where I said, damn, this lady's eyes fucked up. You know what I mean? Her eye didn't work and this shit was bad. I said, nah, I can't even. You know what I mean? Then I hate a motherfucker that try to get this most expensive shit off the menu. You know what I mean, Lamar? They be trying to get the most expensive shit. You never had no lobster linguine. What the fuck you all ordering that for? I'm ordering a burger. You want to get linguine. You know what I mean?
You already know what it is. They trying to get in where you fit in and trying to squeeze you for as much as they can get you for.
That's crazy.
I feel like I feel like that should be a tax write-off. First dates. That shit should be like a tax write-off.
Man, I think it should be 50-50. It should be 50-50 off the rip. We'll split the bill, or I pay the bill and you take care of the tips if the service is good and the drinks. Because that's the game that these women play. Not all of y'all. Let me make it. Don't complex. If I throw rocks at Paul's, I throw rocks at piles of dogs, and if you bark, then the bitch hits you. I ain't got nothing to do with that.
But it is a lot of motherfuckers to be trying to order the Don Julio, all kind of shit off the Louis the 13th. Like, come on, what the?
You know what?
First date.
I was telling somebody that they was like, I met somebody and it was a waste of time, and I'm mad and this, that, and other. Man, ain't no such thing as a waste of time, because I'm gonna learn something. If you think it's a waste of time, you're not gonna learn from that. And what I learned is that the women, they will do what they can out of you, and just to see how much they can get out of you. But what you can, and then you realize, oh man, it was just a waste of time. No, it's not a waste of time. You got to find lessons out of that situation and make adjustments so that don't happen again. And you got to look at it for what it is. You want a person to expose them. You want them to show you what they're about. So you can choose. You're supposed to watch, and then you choose if you want to continue or not. Because at the end of the day, they can only do what you allow them to do.
I mean, you guys never are you guys dating now, or?
Oh no, I'm going for my second round.
Let me ask you this. Let me get a woman's perspective.
Go ahead.
What is dating?
Yeah, that's
Let me see. There's a lot of people, I guess they misuse that word. Some people think like, oh, like, because I've seen a lot of women say we're dating, and then we have to ask the question like, okay, are you going on dates with guys, or are you talking to this person exclusively? Because some people see dating as we're talking exclusively, and some people see it as you just kind of getting to know people and this and that. So I guess it just depends on how the person sees it. Like, I try to say casually dating, because that way it separates, it gives dating a little tighter, where you're not saying, yeah, man, I'm dating, and then 3 minutes later you're like, yeah, and then I'm going out with Paul in a week, and your friend's like, wait a minute, you just said you was dating so and so. And it's like, that's why I just kind of separate and say casually dating, because you kind of
Okay.
just still getting to know these people.
When you get to know a person, what is your objective?
The thing is, and that's the thing for me, my objective, um okay, so I went through two periods in life. I went through a period where I was just trying to, I just got a divorce, and I was just, getting back out there. So I would just let a guy know straight out, like, listen, I'm not really trying to find anything. I'm not trying to do anything serious right now. And I've had some very mature guys say to me, well, I'm down with whatever you want to do. Like, you're a really nice person. This is like maybe after 2 or 3 dates, you're a nice person, is whatever case you want to do. And then we just continue on talking. But, if I meet a guy who is looking for a girlfriend, I'll let him know, like, I'm not, at this moment, I'm not really looking for a girlfriend. I'm just now getting back on the dating scene. I'm not trying to be locked back down. But after I did all of that, I've now, well, when I was dating, because I'm engaged now, I was dating to be married. And when I talk to female friends, I'm like, you have to kind of figure out what you're doing when you're dating. Like, are you dating with the purpose of being married, or are you just dating? And if you're just dating, then you need to, let the guy know. So this immediately, so once you say, well, I like you, and I want to move things further, just let them know, like, well, I actually don't, or and when you guys say dates, like, I don't, that's why I asked if y'all were dating now, because most women now I've heard complain about, like, how you said, like, buying a lobster linguine and all of that. Guys now have gotten hip to that, and they're like, listen, let's just go on a coffee date. Let's go to the park and get to know each
And
other.
talk and talk.
Yeah, and get to know each other. And some women don't like it. Oh, he's cheap immediately.
And
And
those are the ones that are after what they're after, and that's all they want.
yeah, and to me
a
it's
lot of
like,
them on Section 8 too.
right, I mean, whatever it is, but at the end of the
Look for
day,
Cap,
I'm just,
looking for Captain Saberho. They looking for Captain Saberho.
and you know what, the sad part is some of these guys participate in it too, and that's how
Yeah.
some of these women are like they are. But I mean, I feel like, why not do that? Because at the end of the day, you're just meeting John. You don't know him. You've seen pictures of him. You might
He
be
might be
attracted to
Jeffrey.
that.
He might be
Yeah,
Jeffrey.
he might be somebody else. You might see these nice pictures of him in the gym, and then you meet him, and he not who you think he is. And now
Mhm.
he done spent $200, and you done put on your best shoes and your nice dress for no reason, when y'all could just meet at a park, walk around, talk, get to know each other.
I have a question for you. So, you know what I mean? Because we both going back to, you know what I mean? We both been divorced, and, you know what I mean? I'm about to get married again. You about to get, soon to be married too. What was your healing process? Because I see a lot of women, I mean, they jump out the plane like they're airborne to another ship. So, what was your healing process to get to the level to do it again?
Counseling, counseling. And you know what, I've met some guys, like, who now, and guys I've known for years, and I
Mhm.
knew their wife and everything, and then they went through the process, and I mind my business. But when you meet them, when you see them again, they like, yeah, I made some mistakes. I decided to be a hoe, and now all the girls know me as this hoe, and I can't really date nobody. And I think some women do that too. They go through a hot girl summer phase and
Mhm.
things like that. So for me, I went through, when I was going through my divorce, I took counseling.
Mhm.
After the divorce, I did counseling, because I didn't want to bring the BS from that relationship, or the worry, or the whatever,
You
into
didn't
my
want to
next
bleed on
relationship.
somebody else.
Yeah, it then some people need to realize, like, sometimes the problem is you. So if you're on like your fifth person, and then the same thing keep happening, you need to sometimes get your own counseling. But in our community, a lot of us don't really want to do that, and that's unfortunate. But at the end of the day, sometimes that's a part of your healing. So my healing was counseling, and I just took time out. Like, I dated a little bit, and then I took time out to say, you know what, let me love on me a little bit. Like, let me give all the love that I'm giving somebody else to myself, and that's
Did
what
Good
I
for
did.
you.
Also,
Good
did
for
you
you.
write down, like, this? Is what I wrote down. You know what I mean? I also talked to God about. I wrote some shit down where I said, "This is what I want in my next relationship or my next marriage." Did you do some things like that mentally?
I just kind of said to myself, because the things that you do when you're dating, you kind of like look over things. And you listen. You don't listen to the things that they don't say. you know.
Mhm.
And I started doing that. I started listening to my gut. I started listening to the things that they're not saying. I wasn't filling in their sentences for them. I started to say, wait a minute, he said this, that, and the third, but he skipped this. So I started
Mhm.
to see things. And then I just took time out to stop dating. Love on me. I went on a 2-week spiritual healing. I just spent time on myself and just realized like, yo, I'm good alone. Because some people don't realize that they really worried about being alone. So you might jump into something, see some
Mhm.
red flags, skip over them. But I figured if I took some time out and loved me and took care of myself and nurtured myself, and then of course listen to my gut and didn't give a lot, ask my girlfriends for too much advice either. I just kind of took time out for myself. And when I did that, I felt like things started opening up for me. Like my mind started being more clear. The energy you put out is what you give in. I felt like I was always giving out positive energy. So I was meeting very nice guys. But at the time of life when I was meeting them, I wasn't really ready to settle down. Then when I was ready to settle down, I was meeting guys that were, kind of cool, but they were casually dating. So then when I took time out to just pause and do what I need to do, then I started pulling back that energy again, that positive energy that I was putting out. So
Right.
And
yeah.
it's a lot of people that put timetables into things and
I
rush
do.
into things. I
I
don't got
put
no time to.
I put timetables on when I meet a person. I treat it like it's how in the workforce they give you 90 days probation. Yeah, I'm on that type of time. Like if you can't make it, if you don't make it, most of them don't make it to 45. If you don't
I
make it
just
to the 90 days, because it's
I
like
heard
this. It's like this. Imagine you getting a job and the motherfucker, you get somebody a job and they on time, they on point for the first 30 days. Then comes the second 30 days and they start slipping. They ain't, you know what I'm saying? They calling, they late. They ain't calling off yet, but they late and they late on their break, coming back from their break, and they slipping. And come to 90 days, they done called off and they just ain't being the person that you hired them to be. They ain't taking care of it. So what happens when that 90-day review come in? Yeah, it was good, but you showed some signs, but you kind of fell off. So we're just gonna split ways and go with another direction. But I'm gonna make dating. I'm new with this shit. You know my background. If you don't, I've been
wait.
down for a long time, and I came home. So I'm young,
Keep
looking,
it
but I'm
saying.
old, right?
He said your balls was locked up for a little bit. Your balls was
Right.
locked up for a little bit.
So I got into a relationship my first 3 years. Actually, I didn't become single until 2019, 2020.
Was that
2020,
with
I became.
was that with Crisco?
Nah, Crisco was that was a one nighter. That was no, that ain't that. We ain't gonna look. Don't start, man.
You
Don't
started
start.
it already.
Already starting
You know,
shit.
I'm
you
kind of
know.
curious. Let me see.
Hey,
Oh
Chris,
my god.
Because
the 20
that's when I started being single too. 2020. That's when
this
Right.
Crisco and this boy is he 40 something years old, but he's slaying these 20-year-olds. Like he's going to Howard, he's going to world tour. Spellman, 25 and young, 25
Ain't no
and 27.
27. Okay, yeah, 25. She was 25.
you trying
Look,
to
she
get
right
pregnant.
there. Notori, she right there. I'm gonna lie, just giving people the experience of what I be doing. So yeah, hey Notori, she was 25. But my thing, I was confused,
Notori.
and I've been single for almost 3 years. The summer will be 3 years, and I'm like, man, I had to, like you said, I had to do some healing because I didn't want to bleed. I was cut with. I could have had the issues that I could have had was my biggest issues was uh, trusting that I can be me and I'll be accepted as me. But when I was, I wasn't accepted for being me in my previous relationship. So I didn't want to just, keep women at bay because I didn't want to get hurt. That was my biggest thing that I had to heal. So when dating came in and I'm meeting all these women and whatnot, dating came into play. I had to analyze it because I got to make shit make sense. So to me, what makes sense as far as dating is concerned, dating to me is dating to me should be like a sports combine, right? I got this. Now imagine, I got this number one pick. I'm the general manager of my team. I call the shots on my team. And I got this pick. I got one pick. And I got to make this one pick work for me and my organization. So it seems like, and I understand you having one person that you're focusing on, but think about it. You can go 6 months to a year invested in somebody and you find out that that's not the one. So why not keep your options open? Date a couple. I don't see nothing wrong with. I got a date on Friday, and then I got a date next Thursday, and I don't see nothing wrong with that because I know my worth, and I want to make sure that I don't invest all my time in an individual because, like they say, a woman decides if she's going to give you her time, effort, energy, pussy, anything, right? Number, anything. But a man decides if he's gonna put that ring on him. That's what the ultimate goal is, right? Men are in competition to get that woman's attention, so he can give her reasons to, let me get in and show you what I can do. And now that I showed you, open it up and I done put all this work in. Now you got to give me a reason to wife you. Why? What makes you special out of the billion of women out here that's available? Because there's 8 billion people on this planet. What makes you that one person that I'm supposed to just disregard all the other women and give you everything, give my everything to you and be committed, be faithful, all that shit?
Well, I got a question for you about that too. Now, I understand that. I completely agree. Like, as long as you're open and honest with anybody that you're dating at the same time. But how do you feel about a woman doing that? Like, if you're
I have
dating
no
this
problem.
woman, that's
I
what
have
I'm
no
talking
problem.
about. That's what I'm
Now,
talking about.
I will compete. Trust in me, I don't mind compete if it's worth it. Like I'm going to end up being on this dating talk show, this international dating show,
Uh-huh.
and they was like, basically the setup was, it was probably me and another nigga, and one female, and she's asking the questions. I'm like, I don't compete. I don't want to do that. Let's flip it around because I know what I'm about, and I'm not I don't know what she's about. I don't know if she's worth it, me putting in all this work and trying to outdo these other niggas. No, let me compete. Let me be the one being. I'm the prize. God damn it. I know what I'm about. I know what I bring to the table. And it ain't nothing that most niggas, the average nigga, do. I move different. I move that way when they move that way.
Yeah, most guys like pride is like a pride and ego thing or whatever. But I've seen females too, and it gets on my nerve. Like, oh, or he went ghost or whatever. Like, but y'all casually dating, you're talking to other people too. So why are you mad at this man for like taking a day off from you and he's not committed to you? He didn't. And then they're like, so I'll be like, take me off your roster. And then 2 days later, they're like, yeah, I got 4 people on my roster. I'm like, then what? Why are you mad at him for having a roster? And then you have a roster. That's just like, like it's a hypocrite kind of thing. And it throws me off about some women. Like, you gonna complain about being on this man roster and he was just on your roster.
It's definitely a wild thing about that shit, but I'm glad I'm off my jersey retired. I don't got to deal with the bullshit. Um, I'm happy. I am delivered. I'm a reform hoe. I changed my ways. Um,
I'm with you. I'm a reform hoe.
you know what I mean? The worst thing I do, I watch my little. I get when I have that chi in my heart. I watch a little video. I grab her thigh. We watch it. But she sleep, but we watching it together.
Just he be watching her and you watching the TV.
Yeah, it's the same thing. You know what I mean? But the thing is, it's too much. It's too much clown shit. You know what I mean? I got a lot of buddies. They out here and they in the trenches. But I said, man, y'all, how do y'all just all these? You know what I mean? COVID, motherfuckers got monkeypox, and this shit don't be worth nothing now. It's
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It don't be worth nothing.
You know what dating is to me, for real?
I'm
Dating
30
dating is like test driving a car.
Yeah.
You ain't gonna jump in the first car that look good, smell good, run good. No, man, you gotta put some work in to see if you actually like. That's why I like those places. They got some car dealerships that will allow you to drive the car for a minute, keep the car for a minute,
Oh,
and then
you talking about
after a while,
CarMax?
you can decide if you want it or not.
You trying to CarMax it? That's a CarMax.
Right, you got a CarMax. Ain't nothing wrong with CarMax, man. This car has to be the one that's gonna be reliable, and I can depend on it and all that shit. I gotta make sure I'm putting my money and my time, my investment in the right vehicle because this is my primary investment. Dating, you are looking for a primary investment. That ain't no difference then.
It ain't no difference, but man, this is. I got another question for you, Lamar, too. Man, how many prison counselors did you ran across in jail, man? Because these motherfuckers, I know a couple females that was getting counseling from niggas in jail. It was like counselors, the whole story talking to
Not,
him.
are you talking about employees or just anybody,
No.
inmates and employees?
I'm talking about inmates talking to a bitch outside. Those girl, I mean, giving her encouragement. This nigga's up to TD Jakes levels. Girl,
Wow.
You
oh,
know why?
go
You know
ahead,
why?
break that shit down. Break that shit down.
Thing about prison is you ain't got nothing but time.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what separates those in prison who know how to work the time and not let the time work them compared to those that's out here in the real world. Ain't no time. Like I said back in the day, you got 24 hours in a day. Divide that by 3. You're supposed to work 8 hours, you're supposed to sleep 8 hours, and then you got 8 hours to do and live your life. So you ain't got time to sit back. I mean, you do got time because your me time is how long it take to play a video game, how long it takes to stream on social media. The same amount of time that you can be doing that is the same amount of time that you can be investing in yourself. So being in prison, we got time to tighten our game up. That's all it is, tighten our game up. We getting books, you know what I'm saying? We watching shows, we having talks with other inmates that's on the same frequency that we are. We're soaking up game. Those who know how to soak up game. So when it comes to a motherfucker like me, I got a different perspective on shit because I had time to analyze it either, different types of ways. And when I do bring it to someone's attention, they like, God damn, this motherfucker sound like Dr. Phil.
Yo, and these bras be falling for that shit. I know this one motherfucker. You say, yeah, I'm about to get out. I'm about to get pro next summer. And the bitch was like, oh yeah, for real. You know what I mean? You should go visit the nigga 3 hours.
It's dumb. It's dumb.
I
Look, I'll tell you why that's dumb.
These bitches be falling for that trap.
The most dumbest thing a woman can do is get with a man who did a lot of time. I did. My dude, when I got out, he got out 2 years before me. He did like 16 years. He got out 2 years before me. So he gave me the game. He told me 3 things not to do. 1 was not get a car note. 2 was not get in a relationship. And 3 was something else. I can't remember. I didn't. I paid attention to 1. 2, I didn't. I jumped right in after a month. I'm living with my mom. I'm like, man, I'm 38 years old living with my mom, man. Fuck this shit. Because the girl that I was dealing with in prison, I broke it off because I'm like, I'm gonna keep it real. I gotta be real with myself before I'm real with anybody else. I broke it off with her. And I was like, yo, I know I'm gonna be a hoe. I'm about to be a straight hoe. 10 years, 13 years and 10 months, I'm about to be a straight hoe. And I don't want to do that to her. So, it went down the way it went. Everything happened for a reason. And I got with her and it was bad. I hurt her. I just did her wrong, and it got to the point where I just had to leave her. I was like, because I kept breaking up with her. It's like I can't do this shit. And then it just got to a point where I'm like, she wants to marry me, and this, that, and the other, and I can't match her love, and I just broke it off. I got stolen. She stole on me. She stole on me because she was hurt, but I ate it.
Yeah.
I ate it.
I'm not gonna let nobody punch me. I used to make.
Actually, no, yeah, I ate it. Actually, tell you the truth. And this is the first time I ever did some shit like that. I did what I call baby boy. I baby boy the fuck out of her. Now she wanted to go to church. We was going to church. This was like 2016, December. We go to church. We started going to church, and she was like, then January came, and she was like, well, I told her what it was. She's like, let's go to church. Let's put it in God's hands and whatnot. I already knew what it was. I was late and everything. Like, you know what I'm saying? I didn't want to just play. I didn't want to go because God couldn't change my mind. My spirit just was bothering me. Like, I'm laying in the bed and I know I ain't right. And it just I got a heavy conscience. It kept messing with me. And it was a peaceful, regular night. We watching TV. We in the bed. She giggling. I'm fighting my thoughts and shit. And it was just, I'm hearing this sound like, nigga, tell it. But for a month and a half, I hear these thoughts like, quit doing this. I talk to myself like, you're wrong. You're wrong. This is not right. You know what you need to do. But it took me a couple months to get my, build up the courage. And it was just one night out of the blue. I can't do it.
Eric G had a quick question for you, yo.
I ain't got my HDs, so I can't read.
He said, how often was y'all slamming the CO's cheeks, man, in the pen?
Every second we got, every chance we got, every chance. Every chance. When we go into the hole, see, Lucasville was set up where you can't see you side by side, and you got those across. And when a CO stopped at the door, there was rules that you had to follow. CO stopped at a man's door, you supposed to get out the window, get out the business. going somewhere, or you about to get pulled up on when we open these sales. So, but in the hole, oh, it goes down because can't nobody see. We're all side by side, and it's just that's where it goes down in the hole. Then it'd be like, I'm staying back for rec. Send everybody out. Just slide right in.
Yo, how many prison babies happen a year? You think, man?
Man, that's the good man for men prisons. I would say it's rare. I did 14, 13 years, and I've never heard a situation where a CO got knocked, right? Because it's a quickie first and foremost, and she like stop this condom on, so it's not gonna happen. Now, when we talk about female prisons, that's a whole new different thing.
How many
bitches is getting knocked up by CO first? That's where it was first. Man, I wish I was a CO in a female prison. I'm playing all them bitches. I'm just keeping it 100. I'm slaying. I know me. I'm running through them all. I'm gonna have a couple babies because I was stupid back then. I wasn't thinking. If I got caught up then, they gonna get me.
What kind of game would you put on them? Like for the get them yams. What kind of game would you put on them?
I gotta see if I ain't gotta put no game. All I gotta do is let them out. I'll pick one and I give them special treatments.
Like that's what kind of special treatment you gonna get them?
You can get out late. You can get out early when everybody locked down. I'm gonna let you out. I'm gonna make you the porter. I'm gonna make you the porter. This is what they do. I'm gonna make you the night third shift porter. And when everybody in the bed, then we're gonna go do our thing. That's the perfect time because everybody's asleep. You this motherfucker, the CO Johns is deep in some pussy at 3 a.m.
God damn. I'm glad.
But here's the thing. With that. With pregnancies in female prisons, how's it changed? Because like I said, there's always levels to the game. Man, now you know that they're putting transvestites in prisons, in female prisons, right? Yeah. Them motherfuckers, them niggas, them feminine bitches, them nigga bitches, they fucking the women. They fucking them.
So you said the ladies with the sticks about to do it. They're about to take over.
They ain't about to. They already doing it. Look it up. Look it up on Google. They was talking about that on the Breakfast Club. I don't talk about nothing I don't know about. But
be in there, leave a little daddy snacks on chicks.
Yeah, man. Shoot. I would too. Oh man, come on, man. Oh hell yeah, man. I'm slanging this motherfucker like crack. And my sessions, and it's gonna you gotta send me some money. Yeah, you gotta send me some money. Cause there's too many of y'all. I need the one that's gonna send me some money.
Would you at least get him some nice bras, man?
Man, I ain't getting shit. I ain't sneaking nothing in.
What about some nice
contraband? That's contraband. I'm already doing enough.
What about nice blankets? You gotta give them
you can get all that. I'm gonna make sure you got fresh clothes. I'm gonna make sure you got everything you got coming to you fresh. I'm gonna make sure you have everything. You need an energy package. I'm gonna get you an energy package. Everything that you're supposed to have, I'm gonna make sure you got the top shit. But I ain't sneaking in nothing. Don't even try me.
What about some tampons? You gotta get these sisters some good quality.
Man, you gotta go to the store. You gotta
get them the heavy, the light.
No, you ain't getting shit. No. All I got for you is conversation and dick. That's it.
That's all they should expect. Like
that's it. But you give a human an inch, they're gonna take a yard.
Yeah, humans.
See, that's the thing. Niggas in the joint, they don't want ass. It ain't just about the ass. I'm trying to knock this bitch so she can bring me a package. That's what the ultimate objective is. Getting a package.
You ain't never lie.
Man, I had this one girl. I was at it was my last bit at Pickaway institution, right? And I was the barber there, institutional barber, but I ended up being the barber for the ICU or they had a HIC. They had a name for the hospital, right? And it was this nurse. She was a big girl, white girl. Man, she was dumber than a pack of rocks, man. I swear to God, right? So I knew she liked me. I caught up with her when I got out because she got fired. Fucking with a lame ass white boy who just told her to bring in shit. Like, man, you stupid. And I was like, man, why'd you do that shit? That's dumb as fuck. Cause I could have got her if I wanted. I'm almost home. I'm not about to get with another charge. I'm not doing none of that stuff. And she was young and dumb. And I know she didn't have no condom, so I wasn't going for it. I'm not about to wrap my shit up in no saran wrap. No. But she got caught and got fired. She had a nice paying job. She was a nurse and lost all that because she bought in some cigarettes. But they took the cigarettes out the joint. Cigarettes and Black and Mild. One Black and Mild can go for $25.
God damn.
Yeah. Sell me a pack. 5 times 25. You do the math. So that's the objective. I got to get this bitch to bring me a pack.
Yo,
fuck all that shit.
We year they took the smut videos out, man. The smut magazines, the smut videos.
Well, there really never was no videos in Ohio. But there was, we call them fuck magazines.
Mm-hmm.
They probably took them. If they were never allowed. You
right, so
yeah, they never would not. Now I think about it, they never were allowed because if they came across it when the shakedown, they taking it's contraband and you getting a ticket.
All right, so what about this? Have you ever seen a nigga steal somebody's chick's picture off out of somebody's cell? You know, a nigga had a bad bitch on his cell.
Man,
it's a nigga just grabbed it.
A nigga, yeah, this was in London. A nigga saw a girl and he went. It was a celly. It was a celly. He saw, you know, we cellies. I'm gonna share my shit. We cool. I'm gonna share my shit. He went out on a visit. This nigga went in his box, his bag, mail bag, got the girl's address. Niggas are stupid. Niggas, when they think what they think, they fucking stupid as fuck. Like, you live with this motherfucker. Went in there, wrote his girl, and tried to holler while they still cellies. Man, he found, of course, his girl went back and told. Man, he beat the fuck out of it. It's 2 o'clock in the morning. It's 1 o'clock in the morning. And all we hear is, furniture being moved. And banging on the door because he was a bitch ass nigga. And yeah, you got that ass. You trapped in the motherfucking cell. Now this was Lebanon. That's what it was. It was Lebanon. You trapped in the cell, did some fuck shit because you a fuck nigga, and fuck niggas do fuck nigga shit, and you got your ass beat.
What about the prison cologne, man?
What is that?
The smell good. The smell good. Was niggas, you know what I mean, for visitation. Niggas didn't put the smell goods on.
Muslim oil. Muslim oil. That's why I got hip to Muslim oil. Because the Muslims gotta have that as a part of their ritual and stuff. So they let them get it. And they let them buy it in the commissary. And of course, that's the sale. So yeah, we use Muslim oil.
But
Fahrenheit and all those good smelling stuff that they got, we use that.
But y'all see you say you got a podcast coming soon, Keisha. What's your podcast gonna be about?
Oh, the podcast is gonna be about everything. You know, I'm gonna have a little bit of dating in there. I decided, me and my fiance was talking about, questions about when we were dating into, also I'm gonna have some questions with my kids where I'm harassing them, how is it living with mom when she's dating or whatever. Also have I was gonna make it have a session where I'm cooking, but I also have a friend who's a chef who don't think I could cook. So it's like cooking with Keisha, kind of play on it, you can't cook, but I'm cooking while he's talking to me on a podcast and just having a casual conversation. And then the plate to be, is a plate of food that I finished or whatever, and have my kids try it and, basically give their honest opinion on it. Just I got a lot of ideas for the podcast.
And are you still on the other podcast? I know I talked to you last year about having you on my stuff. Are you still on that podcast? I forgot the name of it.
Yeah, I'm no longer on that podcast. I was on there for about 40 some episodes. I started episode 58. I did my last episode with them, which was the 100th episode. And things just happen. So we just kind of I guess, had different things going on. I'm not really sure, but it wasn't a bad thing, but we just it just dissolved, I guess. And now I'm on another podcast with that co-host. It's called Talk My Credo with my homeboy and my cousin Dante. And we also have a mini series podcast that we do called Pod Avengers. So yeah, still doing podcasting and working on my own. As you can see, the name of it's gonna be Yo Keisha. Look, we'll try to get my hand in there. But it took me a while to get a name of it, a name for it. And I figured, what, I was doing mini series on the other podcast with me being Yo Keisha, just interviewing people. So I figured I'll just keep that going.
Okay. You know what I mean? It's definitely enough for everybody. Everybody can eat in podcasting. Everybody got a different kind of flavor.
Yeah, I've made friends with females that we originally was trolling or had a disagreement. Like, yo, you know what? Let's hop on the podcast and talk about how we met. You know what I mean? Like I've had females where we had comments and we went back and forth and just was like, yo, you know what? How about let's collab and do something? So I wanted to do that on the podcast. Got girlfriends that's into BDSM, things like that. I'm just the podcast gonna be open to everything. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's you know what I mean. That's why I like doing my own shit, and because I like to talk what I want to talk about. You know what I mean? And you know, I met some interesting people, but you know what I mean. Like we said in the beginning, it's a lot of Hollywood shit. You know what I mean? There's a lot of Hollywood shit where people can't keep it a bean, and you know, and a lot of niggas be undercover, be hating on you. I'm like, nigga, I only got like 63 subs. Why the fuck you hating on me? Why? You know what I mean? It's a lot of weird shit in podcasting.
Yeah, I'm realizing. And then some people just honestly be up there trying to get followers and likes. Like I recently, I think I was like shadow banned on Instagram because I had a female said something and I was like, yo, she cooning, and then I got flagged for that. And then I quoted something off of a reel that they said in the reel, and I got flagged for that. So, I see that a lot. Females up there, talking about things, but you could just clearly see that they up there, cooning basically, or trying to get more followers, male followers, or whatever they're trying to do. And I'm not knocking, but like, let me comment and say what I want to say, just like they can say what they want to say in the reel, and nobody's flagging that. You know what I mean? Like, it's my opinion. Now, and I think recently I was on a podcast yesterday and we were talking about YouTube, how they're changing things up. You can't say this, you can't do that. And it's shocking content. It's just like, dang, we getting censored out here in 2023. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you can't even say nothing. But you know what I mean? And you know what I mean? Only thing I love about podcasting, you know what I mean? You'd be surprised who watching your shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
You'd be
that's
really
what I love about it.
surprised. You'd be real surprised because my baby mom one time told me, I see you talking on your podcast. I said, bitch, why you watching my shit for?
Right. That's my business.
You forever the ops. But let me stop. Let me stop. But you know what I mean? It's definitely a lot of people watching your shit where I don't be expecting nobody to be watching this wild shit I be putting out.
But having a podcast it's a lot. I realize it's a lot of work. I only been doing this about 4 months, 5 months, and it's a lot. And I've been pushed and advised to get my own podcast. I don't know if I want to do that because my experience, I done did like maybe this is probably like my 32nd podcast episode, and I've been on at least 12 different platforms. Mm-hmm. And I feel the way I see it set up is that a host does nothing but majority of the time listening, ask questions and listening to the guests. And as you see, I'm a talker, and I don't want to hog up the time because my podcast is be normally an hour and a half or longer. The longest I've done was 2 hours, and I think that was with you. I think you had we was on a group. We was in the group. I was at the barbershop. That was my longest. We was on the panel, and but during that time, I'm doing a lot of talking. If I do an hour podcast, I would say that's what 60 minutes. I'm talking about 30 to 45 minutes, 40 minutes. But you can't do that as a host.
No, you can. But it's just a lot of stuff, you know what I mean? Getting people doing the graphics, you know what I mean? Trying to create an intro, doing all that shit by yourself. That's just the taxing part of the shit, and you know what I mean? Buying the equipment. You know what I mean? And doing all the extra shit, man.
It's a lot if you want to get it. You got to dot your I's and cross your T's, and get your guests. Because when you a guest, when you searching for a guest, you're asking me to come on here so I can talk. Because I've done all my podcasts that I've been on. I would say I did 12. 10 of them were my people, and I had a couple with white people. And I had my first one experience with a white woman. She talked more than I did. And I was like, damn, is it going to be you? Or is this about you or is it about me?
So
Like,
she
and
gonna
that was the longest one with a white person. That was 2 hours because we had to make. She was like, "We got to come back," because I was just dropping shit on her, dropping some shit. When she let me talk, I'm dropping some shit on her, and yeah, but she kept talking, and I didn't like that. Like, I don't. I mean, I care about what others think, but you brought me to yourself so you can hear what I think. But yeah, the light needs to be on me. It'll be on me, and then she like, just turn it on her. I'm like, I'm in the dark, like, the fuck. I forgot by the time she done. I forgot what the fuck I was talking about.
Yeah, I've been on podcasts like that. But yeah, you can do that as the host, and that's what I'm talking about. So like, some hosts talk too much, but then they give each other, give people the chance to talk, and I've been on a couple of podcasts like that. But for honestly, me, I'm gonna try to keep my podcast to, like 45 minutes, hour be the most, because I mean, unless I need like content. Let's say we go over 2 hours, I'll probably break that into 2 episodes and save myself a day.
Right, you got to, because people lose interest in an hour long, a 2 hour long, or hour and a half. Ain't nobody got time to be sitting and what I'm saying, for a whole hour and a half. They got shit to do. So you want to make it short and interesting. To hold people's attention. That's the key.
I feel like it's like I do a sport podcast also, but
and I ain't been on it. I ain't been. Let me find out you cheating on me. You ain't including me.
So I do a sport. Whoa, pause. Hard pause. But
don't say no homo. I'm not saying no homo. I think that's stupid as fuck. No homo. Like, nigga, nobody thinking about no gay shit. Why the fuck you gotta say no homo?
Like, I heard a nigga show me one time, one of my homeboys. He said, "Nigga, I love you. No homo."
Yeah,
that be that sign of insecurity or some beautiful. You want to make sure that you don't think you get. That's what that is.
You don't gotta say no homo.
An NBA player did an interview and he said no homo, and they fined him $25,000 for saying no homo.
Man. But anyway, yeah, it's just a lot of shit going into like podcasting. Like I said, like I had what my shit. My last one was my partner is too freaky for me. That shit had 40 plus views because I had a wild graphic, a broad with a BBL, shit looking like pow. You know what I mean? But I have my sport podcast. That shit might get 8 views. 6 views. You know what I mean? But that sex sells.
Sex sells. We live in a sexual realm. Yeah. Hey, I noticed in Facebook, like the stories, they'll start off with a picture of a badass female, man. She just thick and nicely shaped. And the next one would be a Cash App advertisement. Like that's a lure. They lure you in with that one little thing. Just like Keisha said, the picture didn't match up to the dude. That's mine. To me, that's mind fucking. You mind fucking me.
I did that. I did that one time too. You know what I mean?
You do everything one time.
I had a skinny version of myself, a skinny version of myself, and the fat version. You know what I mean? Just to get myself in there. You know what I mean? Sometimes you gotta look at the check the temperature. I did that a couple times. You know what I mean? I was medieval with the the Photoshop. But anyway,
you took it to a whole nother level, huh?
Yeah, I'm a Photoshopper. You know what I mean? I told you back in my wild days, I'm up there with Queen Latifah. But that's another story. Let's get the fuck out of here. Keisha, let the people know where they can find you and when your new podcast coming out. You're on mute. You're on mute. You're on mute.
Dang,
you're doing a Rihanna.
That's what happens when you get some new equipment trying to get yourself together for the podcast. I don't know how to use it, but yeah, you can find me on Instagram at Product of Jersey, Snapchat, any social media as Product of Jersey. I try to get that in before anybody else did. And I'm looking to launch the Yokisha podcast late March, early April. So, look out for it then.
All right, Brother Lamar, you have any more podcasts you going to do this week, or you finished, man? You going to chase the 25s? What's going on?
I was supposed to have done a podcast with Craig Hodges, the former NBA player, and we were going to talk about the situation in Memphis and the situation in New Mexico where the girl went down there and got killed. Just did that, and did do it with him because he didn't want to do a panel. He wanted to do just a one-on-one or shit like that. But I just did that on She's Successful podcast. That should be airing soon. Just did that a couple of days, and in about a week or two, I'm gonna be on the international dating podcast. So yeah,
That's what's
And,
up.
all I want to do is be a guest and
oh, that's
build myself up, and then eventually I'm gonna start back I'm gonna start a podcast and call it Jarrell's World.
Oh, that's smart. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? This is the Fupa Protector. The big dub lover. If that belly don't jiggle, I don't want to wiggle. Um, and we about to be out of here. You know what I mean? Hopefully y'all come check me out next Monday for my midday sports in the morning with Rod and the lunch crew. Check it out. People, I'm gonna have a show Monday, maybe. And I have some more stuff coming down the pipe. So y'all have a good night. I appreciate y'all coming on. Thank you.